From the Millersville University Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Kyle Elliott,
I'm student meteorologist Mitchell Cocaine.
here with the medium range forecast and video discussion issued on Wednesday, October 8th. Well, Mitch, we had a pretty much a summer-like start to October. Essentially, the whole first week was an extension of summer, but a cold front just went through here in the last hour, and that's it for the extended summer.
Yeah, unfortunately, those warm temperatures aren't going to stay around any longer. But we're going to get a little bit of a taste of the fall temperatures here
Yeah.
coming. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of excited for the change up.
I'm not really, because I'm a warm weather fan, so I'd take it all year long. But hey, we got to take the punches as they come. So it does look like we're going to have our first frost, widespread frost of the season here on
Yeah.
Thursday night. Lows down in the low to mid 30s. So if you do have plants, tender plants, and vegetation outside, be sure to bring them in Thursday evening or apply a protective covering over them to ensure that they're protected from that frost. But it does look like as we get into the upcoming weekend, Friday and Saturday, look fairly seasonable. But there is some really actually a lot of uncertainty in the forecast from Saturday through early next week. And it all really hinges on the strength, track, and exact timing and location of this coastal low pressure system that you see on Saturday to the east of Florida. Does this system interact with this other upper level low over the Great Lakes region? How intense does it get? Does it actually try to hook back inland over the mid-Atlantic states later into the weekend or early next week? These are all questions that we just can't answer right now. And thus, the forecast from the weekend into early next week is highly uncertain. But it does look like, at least on Saturday, conditions should still be dry across the lower Susquehanna Valley. Partly sunny skies should rule the roost, and temperatures will be around average for this time of year, generally in the mid-60s to around 70 degrees. The year is in good agreement with the GFS here on Saturday, showing that, yeah, we really don't have any rain to worry about yet. But that all changes on Sunday if the GFS and the European models are correct. That coastal low pressure system moves northward to a location just south of Cape Hatteras, and then that easterly flow brings the rain into the lower Susquehanna Valley. However, I'm very skeptical of this solution right now. We've been in a progressive, fast west to east pattern. If you think back over the last couple of weeks, models have shown multiple of these coastal storm systems trying to form and bring us a lot of rain, and they just haven't materialized, and they end up staying farther south and east off the eastern seaboard, and the rain generally stays near the east coast and south and east of I-95. I'm kind of thinking that's the exact same thing that happens in this case. However, again, there are a lot of moving pieces in this case, so you're just going to have to stay tuned later this week until we can finesse the forecast more closely. And Mitch, early next week looks like that uncertainty is kind of just going to stick with us.
Yeah, we really don't know what's really going to happen at this point. There could be like two scenarios here. That one, the coastal low come up and hang around our area, and then the other one could be pulling off the coast, and that's the one that we're favoring at this moment. So, other than that, if we're correct here, Tuesday should really turn out really nice, and that's all I really can say. I mean,
Yeah.
there's really nothing to really fully say here, because we really
Right, 'cause
don't
we
know.
don't know. It's
So-
7 days away. It's
Exactly.
tough at this point. In a case like this, a fluid situation with so many moving pieces, you're just going to have to give it time. 2, 3 more days till we can really figure this out. So, like Mitch said, if the storm does stay really far off the coast on Tuesday, it'll turn out partly sunny and seasonable again. If it ends up hooking back in and moving inland over the Delmarva region, Tuesday is going to be a nasty day. Cloudy, breezy, some showers and rain around with temps in the 50s. So, like I said, right now we are leaning toward the GFS's solution, but just understand that your solution is still on the table at this point. So right now our best shot at the forecast is pleasant on Saturday still with a mix of clouds and sun. High 68, partly sunny and seasonable on Sunday, again because we're leaning toward that offshore solution. Similar on Monday, partly to mostly cloudy and seasonable with highs in the mid-60s. And then Tuesday, again, forecast really just hinges on the track of that storm. Well, that'll do it for this edition of the Medium Range Forecast. Tune back in next Wednesday for the latest edition. Until then, enjoy the taste of fall late this week and stay tuned for updates on that coastal system.